Hey everybody, glad you're joining us. We'll be starting in about a minute and a half, so just hang in there as we let everybody kind of join the broadcast. So next time we visit your turn, I'll be right back. I never really started kids. It was just, he didn't, like, he just don't love starting to fill up the room a little bit. Great to see everybody joining us. We'll be starting in about 30 seconds, everybody. I have a bunch of little tapes too. This is like a whole tape when I think it's feel maybe on it. And welcome everybody. Appreciate you joining us today. This is Marlo Anderson, the founder of National Day Calendar. And we are going to be giving away some great prizes today. We have a great special guest for National Scribble Day. It's also National Joe Day. So anybody who is Joe, if you know anybody Joe, Jolene, some derivative of Joe, should invite them in because we're going to give some special prizes to anybody with the name of Joe that joins us today. So, so invite those people in if you get a chance, and add some comments in here. Love to see the comments coming in. And so we're going to be giving away some prizes, right? So today we have a $100 gift card from Pilot Flying J. We also have the Fire TV Cube. And how this will work is you'll pick a number between 1 and 1,000. 1 and 1,000. You want to wait until I tell you when you can do that. And the person who has the number closest, doesn't matter if you're under or over, will win one of these two prizes. You get to pick which one you like, and you'll have 3 opportunities during the broadcast to do that. So I'll say opportunity 1, 2, and 3. On the third one, if you happen to get the number correct, you'll win both prizes. Okay, so that's how it works. We're celebrating Joe Day today. So I have my cup of Joe, which is exciting. Not Cup of Joe. I'll have to ask you about that, Joe. So, and I appreciate Sissy. Thanks for joining us today. So let's get started, everybody, right away. So let's get you guessing your first number. So pick a number between 1 and 1,000. You get 1 guess per time. So 1 guess per opportunity. If you guess multiple times, you will be disqualified. Simple as that. So, with that said, I'd like to introduce you to our guest of the day. I figured it'd be great to bring this person in because it is National Scribble Day, and his name does start with a J, but it is not Joe. But let's bring him in here. So, Jordan, how you doing?
Hey, everybody. Fantastic to be on. Hey, Marlo.
Cheers, man. I think you're enjoying it. Yeah.
Cheers.
All right. Yeah. And anybody else who's got a little cup of Joe out there, you know, give us the cheer of that. So do you know the story behind this, Jordan? Why it's called a cup of Joe?
I heard you talk about it briefly, but I think everybody should be edified with this story.
So I should probably look this up real quick then too, right? So it started, I believe it is in World War II. And I wish I could remember the gentleman's name now. Oh my goodness. Actually, before we tell the story, I can't believe I don't remember this.
I can take a stab at it too.
Oh, okay. You see if you remember what this is, and while Jordan is saying this, keep guessing your numbers 1 through 1,000, everybody.
Okay, so here's what I recall from Cup of Joe. How did coffee become a cup of Joe? Well, I believe it was World War I.
Okay.
There was kind of a hard-nosed sergeant or colonel or some kind of leader who the sailors didn't love on their ship. And then they banned alcohol, which the sailors then really didn't like on their ship. And
so his name was Joe. I can't remember his last name.
It was Joseph something.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, Joseph something.
And it was during World War I, and it was because he banned alcohol to our armed forces. That's correct. So keep going.
Yes. Yeah, okay. So then everybody was upset because they didn't have alcohol, and he was kind of a jerk that nobody liked. And so they started calling coffee a cup of Joseph.
Right.
Enter last name here.
Right. And part of that was that he got rid of alcohol and then actually increased the rations for coffee.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. That was it.
Yes. Oh, I right here. So Robert Cook is showing us here. Okay. Joseph Daniels, that's what it is. That's right. So they would call the cup of coffee a cup of Joseph Daniels, right? And then, of course, that all got dropped to a cup of Joe, which is why we all call coffee a cup of Joe now. So I think it's it's a great story, right? Thank you, Robert. We have one of the smartest audiences out there that share that. So that's right, everybody, keep guessing your numbers 1 through 1,000. Tina's weighing in here as well. Yes. And Tina, that would have been tough on you back then, I'm guessing, if you had no alcohol. Just saying. So Jordan, why do I have you on for Scribble Day today?
Here, let me guess. You didn't tell me why, but I'm guessing it's because I'm a writer and an author and a publisher.
Yes, that's correct.
It's the glasses, Marlo.
Yeah, it gives it away, right? So I'm gonna put up the screen here so everybody knows who we're talking about. So Jordan has actually ghost written? Is that how you say it? 30 books?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then of course you make the news because you write your own story, which I think is amazing. So
yeah, 30 books in, finally.
Yes. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you became a ghostwriter?
Yeah, so it's funny because the very first book I ever ghost wrote was as a favor to a friend who owned a little indie publishing company. And he knew I was a writer. I had never once been paid to write. And then he reached out and said, "Hey man, I know you're a writer. I'm in a bind. I've got to have a writer for this book." And I thought, "Oh my goodness, I get paid to be a writer. This sounds great." I just said yes. And then I asked, "What's the book about?" And he said, foot health. So foot health was my unceremonious entrance into the cloak and dagger world of ghostwriting. I do know how to spell plantar fasciitis, and I know a lot about feet. Protect your arches, people. But that's how I got started, and it just went from there. And I really fell in love with this style and form of writing, and then have just done it ever since for about 5 years now.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. So we're going to wrap up. I see you have a fan. Doug is saying that he's known you for 23 years. I'm not sure how that's possible. You don't look like you're more than 20. So.
Oh, thank you. You'll see the gray when the sun comes up a little bit more. But hi, Doug.
So we're going to wrap up the 1 through 1,000. You can pick a number between 1 and 1,000. We're wrapping up the first round in 10 seconds. So if you have a number that you're debating on, get it in now. You got 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1, and round 1 is done. So we'll start with round 2 now. Round 2 starts. So pick a number between 1 and 1,000, and we are giving away either the Pilot Flying J $100 gift card. So if you need fuel, this is great. Or you can get this amazing streaming device, the Fire TV Cube from Amazon. These are brought to you by Sling TV. So if you are interested in maybe a streaming service, you should go give Sling TV a look, because they are providing these things. So they love being part of this as well. So anyway, so Jordan, let's expand on that a little bit now. So you and I are have gotten to know each other a little bit over the last half year or so. So
Yes.
are we doing something? What's going on with the two of us?
Oh, we're doing a big something. We are working on helping millions more celebrate every day right now with a book of our own.
Fantastic, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I think we're actually going to be talking about the progress of that here in a little bit. So, and people, if you have a comment or something, please share that. I like to put those up in here as well. If you have something to share about Joe Day or Scribble Day, please do that. It's also, by the way, it's International Medical Science Liaison Day. It's a brand new day. It's very timely because these are people that are firsthand in the war against the coronavirus. So they're very, very instrumental in the fight against disease. So we really want to, do a shout out to all of our medical science people out there today. So, but anyway, go ahead, Jordan. Tell us a little bit more about what we got going on.
Yeah, so it's really neat because obviously the National Day calendar has such a fun story. I think stemming back from National Potato Day was kind of the hook that got you. Something like
Popcorn Day.
Popcorn Day.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
With a P and the O.
Yes.
So it's just wild, your story, how it's snowballed like this, and how so many people just love the idea of national days, and we can all kind of, especially now, we can all gather around something together, right? And celebrate something that we love together, like
Exactly.
National Joe. I mean,
Yes.
we love coffee. And so you approached me about 6 months ago and you said, hey, I've got this idea for a book, 365 Ways to Celebrate Every Day. And why don't we share some of the many stories about people celebrating every day in really ingenious ways and funny ways and heartfelt and touching ways. Like if you've ever read or heard of Chicken Soup for the Soul books, this is a little bit like that, only broader, and has dancing truckers and the very first road trip ever. And just, there's so many fun things. And it brings a smile. It brings some joy, and it's really encouraging to do what National Day is all about. And that's to get together and celebrate what's good.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about this project too. So get your guesses in, everybody. You got about a minute left. Guess between 1 and 1,000. And remember, the most important round 3, will be coming up in about a minute. And if you guess the right number, what Google will pick at the end for the number, you will actually win both prizes. So we'll be starting that in about a minute. So if you have a number you've been kind of noodling over, make sure you get it in so that we can start round 3. So any time frame on this project at all, Jordan? I know that current situation may have thrown a little kink in maybe what we're working on, but maybe not. I don't know.
It's wild. So typically, I'll let you in on the back room of how the books get made.
Okay.
Usually when a book starts and a publisher says, "Okay, Marlo, I'm in," that book will hit the shelves anywhere from 18 months to 24 months from when that date happens. However, here's what's going on right now. There's a lot of, obviously, fear and some negativity and some just bad news all the time. And I was talking with our agent a couple days ago, and he said, hey, you know what? This is actually an amazing time, because what do we need more right now than positivity? Right? What do we need more than reasons to celebrate and to see beyond the headlines and to see the good that's happening next door or in the next town over? And so I think we're probably going to see a pretty accelerated pace now, because publishers are saying, hey, let's be happy.
I love that. I love that. So, all right, everybody, most important, round 3 right here. We're starting right now. So round 3, get your guess in between 1 and 1,000. 1 in 1,000. And if you guess the right number, you will receive both the $100 gift card from Pilot Flying J and the the Fire TV Cube streaming device made possible by Sling TV. So get your guesses in. Either way, you're going to get, if you're the closest, you get one or the other. But if you happen to guess the number correctly in round 3, you'll get both. So what else do you want to share with us today, Jordan?
Okay, so National Scribble Day. I don't know a ton about the origin of it, but I love the idea of, a scribble can really turn into anything. A scribble can start a business on the back of a napkin over a lunch when someone has a wild idea. Or in fact, one of our mutual friends here in Bismarck, they started a software company, because they started scribbling on a plane ride together, and now it employs dozens and dozens of people. And so a scribble is just really the beginning of some of the best ideas in the world.
I agree with that. So it doesn't have to have anything to do with writing a book. It can be, you can scribble down for an idea on a business, on what you're going to do with your children this evening, whatever. So Jessica ordered another calendar and some socks yesterday. Thanks, Jessica, for that. I appreciate that. And thanks for bringing that up, by the way. Jordan just loves these interviews, right? Because I am popping in front of you all the time here with stuff. But don't forget, we are giving away these calendars too, by the way. The National Day Wall Calendar. During this time of crisis, we are actually giving away the calendar. So just go to our store, use coupon code 2020, and we will ship you a calendar. So go check that out. And of course, because it's Joe Day, I have to show this off too. I've never showed this off before, but we actually have our own copy.
What?
So it's on the store as well. We don't get a chance to talk about this a whole lot, but go check that out, everybody. If you're looking for some great coffee, we have that as well. This is actually, this is the decaf one I'm looking at here, but I think we have 3 different kinds on there, but they're all on the website. I'm not actually the biggest coffee drinker in the world, everybody. I'm starting to learn to enjoy it, but I haven't. I couldn't even hardly tell you the difference between decaf and regular, quite frankly. But I've given up mostly Diet Coke. I drink a little bit here and there yet, but anyway. So get your guesses in, everybody. 1 through 1,000. 1 through 1,000. So Wanda, you said you couldn't find the free calendar. So actually, you just put the regular calendar in the shopping cart, and then add the code 2020 to it, and then it'll actually discount it so you get it for free. So, all right. Oh, Jessica, happy Joe Day to Jessica's husband. So I'm betting I can just say happy Joe Day to Joe, right? And so 30 books. I mean, are you cranking out a book every 3 months at that pace, or how in the world do you do that?
Okay, so check this out. The very first contract I got to ghostwrite books full time when I left the job, I actually left the job. I was asked to leave a job technically, but who cares? Semantics. So I left the job and I signed a contract to write 5 books, and they were shorter books. So I thought, hey, I can do this. And it was all in November of 2016. So I had a contract to ghostwrite 5 books in 1 month. And I had probably never even read 5 books in a month up to that point. So that was quite the endeavor. It was, okay, so check this out. It was so much writing. I actually ended up having to go to the doctor because I hurt my wrist.
Oh my goodness!
And it's the lamest injury ever. But you have to understand too. Ghostwriting a book is different than writing your own book, because someone else really, really smart already has had the thoughts and the experiences, and so I'm kind of a journalist a little bit, taking that and writing it out. So it gives me a little bit of leg up on timing, but that's really where I cut my teeth, is 5 books in a month. And I learned what not to do, and I learned what to do. And I've been writing a lot ever since.
Very cool. So we're going to be wrapping this up in a minute, everybody. So pick your number 1 through 1,000, 1 through 1,000 for your chance to win the Pilot Flying J $100 gift card, or the Fire TV right here. So Fire TV Cube, wonderful prizes. So Jordan, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today. Appreciate that.
Thanks so much.
Just hang out right there because we're gonna pick the number here in about 30 seconds. Are you doing okay through all of the? Are you like quarantining yourself at home right now, or what are you doing with work?
Yes, and let me tell you, our house has never been cleaner or more organized. We're just crushing it here.
That's the advantage to this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You get to actually do a little bit of that yourself and or get to some of these projects that maybe you haven't gotten to. So
my wife is very happy with my picture hanging skills.
I'm sure she is. I'm actually figuring out a way to get 3 cars in our 3-car garage finally too, which is fantastic.
Hey,
right? Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. Not just a storage spot anymore. So all right, everybody, here we go. We're gonna ask the all-knowing Google to pick a number for us. So okay, Google. Pick a number between 1 and 1,000.
Here's a random number, 68.
So the winning number today is 68. 68, everybody. So whoever is closest to that will win one of those 2 prizes. You'll get to choose. If you happen to guess it exactly in round 3, you will actually get both prizes. Simple as that. Jordan, it's been a pleasure again. Great that you be on the show. Let's have you back on in the next month or 2, maybe with some updates, or if there's a National Jordan Day that we need to bring you back on for.
Or start one. Yeah.
We maybe could do that. I might know a person.
Yeah. Hey, pleasure being on. Thanks, everybody.
So take care, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
So give me another hour or so, and I'll see if I